Hello, Ducks fans, hockey fans in Orange County, California, United States, Finland, Canada, and all over the world. Happy Thursday and happy Canada Day. Within a few weeks and 20 days from now, our Ducks will be submitting their protected list for this year's NHL expansion draft involving the newly formed Seattle Kraken. And like many teams in the NHL, except for Vegas for some unknown reason, but who cares about them? The Ducks are given two choices. Choice number one, the Ducks can protect 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, and 1 goalie. Choice number two, the Ducks can protect 4 forwards, 4 defensemen, and 1 goalie. Basically 8 players and 1 goalie, if you could add them together. The purpose of those two choices is to give all teams a chance and to look over who to protect and who to expose in the expansion draft on the 21st of July. Now, like all Ducks fans, including myself, like you, I'm wondering and curious about who the Ducks will protect on their protected list for this year's expansion draft and who they will expose. I mean, we have all sorts of speculations, and we have everyone debating and talking, and when I mean all Ducks fans, I mean all Ducks fans and on the message board, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, even on YouTube, for example. But the point is that I want to make and want to talk about is who will the Ducks basically put on their protected list once July 21st, 2021 comes around. Will it be all youth? Will it be all veterans? Or will it be a mixture of youth and veterans? Either way, many of us, including myself again, yours truly, is hoping that this team could ensure that the youth and experience, that core group, can be kept together. But also, certain changes and certain players need to be, how would I put it this way, left unprotected for the good of the team. Now, I'm not going to speculate who I want to be left unprotected and who I want to be protected. But I'm in favor of the Ducks to ensure that in order for real reforms to be made and real change that could rejuvenate and reinvigorate our team going forward, the Ducks need to look very hard and to look at what players that they could fit into the future in order for our team to win another Stanley Cup. Now, putting together a protected list for this year's NHL draft, basically for the expansion Seattle Kraken, is the easiest word. Putting who should the Ducks protect is something that all of us is debating and questioning and talking and wondering whether this player or that player should be wearing the Ducks D come the 2021-2022 NHL season, our Ducks' 29th year in the NHL. It should, of course, over the summer, stir up debate, stir up questions. People want answers. People want to think, who is the best the Ducks could protect? Who is the best the Ducks could expose? But the one thing that we should all look at is whether or not the Ducks could reach out to Seattle, talk to Seattle. Maybe, get to open up the phone lines, talk about having a deal done. It can happen. I mean, if you look at prior expansion drafts of teams in professional hockey and baseball and NFL trades were done to ensure that the roster put together after the expansion draft is basically strengthened and ready and able to just hit the ground running. Now, how the protected list for the Ducks will be made, hopefully Bob will make something to do or ensure some sort of value or a core group can be protected or something. I don't know. But the one thing I do know is that, say if the Ducks do protect some of their RFAs, it won't surprise me. It would never surprise me. It would never surprise you. Because guys like Lundstrom and Steele and Comtois and Terry and others, they're the future of our team. They're the future of Ducks hockey. We should not be surprised by that, but we should also not be surprised and be open-minded if the Ducks are going to make a trade with Seattle. Now, will it benefit us if the Ducks make a trade with Seattle? Of course, it should. Because there should be no repeat of what happened with the Vegas, or as I call them, the Magnetos, in losing Shea Theodore for nothing. I mean, till this day, I do feel getting a draft pick from Vegas would be a form of compensation. It needs to happen like that. One thing is clear to me is that with the expansion draft, with the entry draft, later this month, and talks of Jack Eichel, which I know most of us are still debating on whether or not if you want to get Jack Eichel or not. It's going to be a very interesting summer. And with an interesting summer, it's always important to just have a positive, optimistic outlook for the Ducks. We should not be surprised or basically disappointed, say, if the Ducks don't make any trades in this summer. I mean, put it this way, signing depth players and trading for depth players is basically their MO, i.e. the fact that developing within with their the players they drafted and the prospects they develop is basically their MO, their identity. Okay, it's been their identity since day one when they entered the league in 1993. Now, whoever they pick, or not, I wouldn't say whoever they left exposed, I'm sure that most Ducks fans will not be happy. Whoever they protect, most Ducks fans will not be happy. Either way, what the protected list would look, it will be 50-50 for most of us. I know some Ducks fans will be happy with the protected list. Some Ducks fans may not be happy with the protected list. What it all comes down to is what this protected list will look like. What it tells us. Will it be a youth? All youth? Except for the goalie, John Gibson. John Gibson is... Everyone knows that there's no way the Ducks are going to leave John Gibson unprotected for the Squidheads. So, or would it be just a mix of youth and experience? You know, have Max Comtois, have Sam Steele, Isaac Lundstrom, and Troy Terry, and Hayden Fury, and along with side by side with Cam Fowler, Hampus Lindholm, or Adam Hendrick, who knows? I just really am interested to see what that protected list will be. I mean, most of us, even though most of us are disappointed and bummed out and really annoyed with the Ducks' lackluster, abysmal finish, we want reforms. And if this protected list gives us anything to look at, like a crystal ball into what the 2021-22 season would look like, it should be it. I mean, it should be it for us, but it should be it for local Ducks fans. And I'm talking to all you guys right out there. For you guys to have something to be excited about, to be interested about. It's really that important to just have hope and just have something to look forward to. Now, I'm not giving up on this team, and I know neither should all of you. Whether who they put on that protected list it's going to give us something that give us something to look at, something to talk about. I mean, there's so much potential in this team. There's so much potential in some of the young Ducks, the prospects, the youth. I mean, I'll give you my personal, I won't call it prediction, but my personal view. I would not be surprised if you see Max Comtois be on that protected list. I would not be surprised if you see Troy Terry, Isaac Lundstrom, Alexander Volkov, and probably Josh Mahara on that protected list. I could give you the whole bottom line of what I think. But with the Ducks investing in youth and their developing within motto, which is turning 29 years old, just like the team, it should not be surprised that it should not. Many of you guys should not be horrified or in shock that the Ducks will protect some players. What we should be looking forward to is that many of the players exempted, the first and second year players and prospects, draftees such as Z-Man, Trevor Zegras, and Jamie Drysdale, they're exempt, which is a plus on our side. Kessler is also exempt because he's injured, and I'm not going to get into details of why. So those are a few pluses. So, in regards to trade deals or anything, or any negotiations the Ducks should have with Seattle, it should be something that I'm sure it could work beneficial for the Ducks and for Seattle. I'm sure that because Seattle would probably want to hit the ground running, just like the Magnetos in Vegas. And I do feel the Ducks have some pieces that Seattle may be interested in. I'm not going to get into who it is, but you be the judge. You be you be to decide. You decide. But one thing is very clear to me is that, say if the Ducks do put that protected list out, and Seattle concludes the expansion draft, and say we do lose like a player, just a player from that expansion draft, I believe that it would be beneficial and for the Ducks to just try to pry at least a player they want. That's just a motorbike going by. Yeah. Sorry for the loud noise. Just for a player they want, they are interested in after the expansion draft concludes. It could work out. It could work out. So I know that many of you are counting down to the 29th Ducks hockey season. I know many of you can't wait for this 29th season to begin, but who knows what the 29th season is going to be like. The Stanley Cup Finals is still going on, that's for sure. And we won't know if fans will be allowed in, whether it be at 25%, 10%, 50%, 100%. I wouldn't mind having a full capacity, because it will be at least 2 years since the last time I went to Anaheim to see our Ducks. But I really feel that once we get that protected list, once that expansion draft concludes, then who knows? Who knows what's going to be? Who knows what's going to be around the corner come this year's NHL entry draft? We know it's going to be virtual, that's for sure. So, as far as I'm concerned, the countdown for the 29th season for our Ducks begins. And I'll be interested to see what the Ducks will do with their protected list. Got so much talent, so much potential, so much interest in that. We're just looking for, I mean, as I said before in previous videos, the Ducks are in need for a roster shakeup, a major trade. So who knows? But as far as I'm concerned, in my personal honest opinion, the Ducks have the youth, have the talent, have the experience, but it's that missing ingredient they're looking for that could revitalize the team, rejuvenate, reinvigorate this team, set things right, recharge, reset, rebuild, retool, whatever. It is what it is. We have to endure it. And hopefully by July, the end of July, we'll know what the Ducks 29th edition of this roster will look like. And we will know for sure. Till then, to all Ducks fans out there, I'll see you guys soon.